Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to receive future updates. Oh, that's the wrong screen. There's the right screen. So, hello everybody. Time for another end of the month, or in this case, beginning of the month live stream here on Bryno's World. How are you doing? I'm doing fine. Let me switch back to my chat screen here. Make sure you can see all the wonderful people that are here. All one of you, that is Bob the Raptor at the moment, and Joe. Hope you guys are doing good in your corner of Ohio. So as you can tell by the title, or maybe if you read the description, yep, and as you can see with a lot of the stuff going on here, yes, I'm making another pizza, which, I mean, I think I've got a knack for making pizza, so why not? So the other kind of pizza, the pizza I'm going to make, I mean, first I got the dough here, but as you might not be able to see all the ingredients here. Let me see what I got here. Oh, and I'll just tell you, from the description, I told you I was going to make a so-called Cincinnati three-way style pizza. That's actually, I got one more ingredient I need to get. I left my cheese out for a while, so I wanted to harden it before I shredded it. Speaking of which, this is a Cincinnati three-way. The cheese I'm using is mild cheddar, since it melts pretty easily. Because it's going to be a three-way, I'm going to use a special sauce, which is this bit of a Skyline original chili here. It's true Cincinnati-style chili here, or Ohio, or whatever, Southwest Ohio-style chili, whatever you want to call it. It's Cincinnati, so who cares? So, I am going to make it sort of, kind of Dayton style. I'm making it with a thin crust. So it's going to be more or less like a three-way, just swap out the spaghetti for a pizza crust. So let's see who do we have here. Bob, of course, and Steven is here. Good to see you. This is Dayton Pizza Prey and Wart Wing Beer Prey. No, it's actually not Wart Wing. This is some homebrew stuff that my raspberry imperial porter that I made at the beginning, I think towards the end of last year, and kegged maybe, I think it was a 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks ago. I can't remember exactly, but I've been enjoying the crap out of this stuff. Some might say a little too much, but well, you know what they say about too much of a good thing? As Strong Bad said, too much of a good thing is an awesome thing. So, cheers. Oh boy. We had some fun today. So anyway, we got a bunch of junk here in this side. So, I've got my food processor here, to which I'm going to shred my cheese with. I got the shredding disc here to take care of that. But I think first things first, and also I got my oven already preheated to 500 degrees. And also, you might notice I got my Skyline sauce on a burner here in a little pot here. That's because, and this is just a personal preference of mine, I don't totally like the Skyline chili right out of the can. I think it's a little watery in my opinion. So I've got it on a burner right now, just trying to reduce it just a little bit to thicken it up, make it a little bit easier for me to eat, and make it not so droopy like you would get with a normal. So make it just to thicken it up like a normal pizza sauce. So actually, I think I've done that enough. So it is reduced a bit. So I'm gonna take it off the burner, turn that off, and hope that gets cool enough to a point where I can slide my cutting board over it. With which I'm only gonna, I'm only gonna use this thing to cut the pizza up. I'm gonna prepare it right here on this a metal working surface here that you can't see. Or let me just show you. Yeah. So you know it's real. So anyway, let's get started. I got this pizza dough here. I did start making it when I finally got back from grocery shopping, which was roughly maybe 2 hours ago, maybe a little bit later than that. So this has maybe like an hour to rise. So let's get this started here. This was the flour I ended up getting, not at Meijer's, not at Kroger's where I got all my normal groceries. There's another little grocery store called Mark's that's also in Kettering Centerville area, but sometimes I get stuff there if I don't get the stuff I want at Kroger's, since it's also close by. I get stuff at Meijer's too occasionally, just only if I'm like missing something, or just have a craving for something. But anyway, let's give this a dusting and get this off and out of here. I think this is all going to need of the flour, but I'll just keep it on standby just in case. Nope, I'm missing my rolling pin. I knew I was forgetting something. I've also got another secret ingredient that I'm going to put on this pizza once I get started, but I'll get to that in a bit. First things first, though, take our, let's see, you know what? I'm going to do some camera work here, make sure you can see what's going on here. Kind of wish I had a third camera or something like this. Apologies, folks. Let's see. Tilt it down just a little bit so you can see what's happening. I'll switch it back later. The joys of a one-man live stream crew here. Joys of a one-man YouTube channel in many, many ways, as I'm sure some of you know all too well. Why is this here? Put that, get that rolling pin out of here. We'll deal with that a little bit later, probably in a few seconds. Actually, now is probably the best time to use it. Since March used to be called Bernie Schulman's in the 1970s. Oh. Like I said, I didn't get to I got the Marks to get the flour, but then I also went to Dorothy Lane Market to get some other stuff. So I don't think any of that stuff is going to make it. Actually, one of it might make it to the live stream, but maybe I just went that did a excuse me. I stuttered in front of a live stream, but who cares? But anyway, I went to DLM to get what was it? It's the my dinner for Super Bowl Sunday, which is going to be a rack of ribs. Tried to get it at Kroger's, but they didn't have any on the order online app. Or they did have it, but it was unavailable as they claimed, so could not get it that way. Shame, but that's how it is. So I went to DLM. They had plenty in their butcher section, so got it there. And what else did I get there? I got some snacks, just some bag of chips and some Coke Zero, and some extra drinking stuff. Some beers. My Ace Pineapple Cider, which is, as a lot of you know, I love to death. Okay, there. Does this, hold on. Does this kind of look like a pumpkin to you? Like a deformed, whacked out pumpkin? Answers in the chat, please. Whilst I take a sip of raspberry porter. It does look kind of like a deformed pumpkin, in my opinion. Let's see. But let's see, it's incorporate that and get that out of the stem out of there. You know what? Let's see. I think that's good enough. A few things I gotta do before we get Papa John's jack-o'-lantern. Steven says no, it doesn't look like a deformed pumpkin. Well, it doesn't anymore now, but I think it's as fine as a crust. So first things first, something I probably should do well beforehand. Get my cornmeal here. First, my pizza. Should I do the pizza peel? Yeah, heck, why not? It's just dough at the moment. Lift that up. A liberal sprinkling of cornmeal. And because I want to do it sort of Dayton style, some salt. Get that on the underside of this. I think, Bob, you mentioned that one of your buddies would do this when they worked for Marion. So, and now I can't get it off the peel. That's embarrassing. Ah! Even worse. Oh well, now it's gonna be a football-shaped pizza, which is appropriate for Super Bowl Sunday. Let's see what we can or can't do here with this. Alright, so stretch it out a little bit wide ways just to get it a little more square-ish. So let's see here. I think that looks good. It does look like the jack-o'-lantern pizza. Alright. So now it's actually going to be secret ingredient time, because I'm taking this. It's not really a secret ingredient. It's actually something that I took off the Skyline website, and I liked the idea so much I thought I would use it. They actually had their own recipe for a Skyline-style pizza. Mine's pretty much just a streamlined version of that, stripped down version. But they have one addition that I really like, and I think it's pretty cool. So let me get I got the spoon right there. Let's just use the spoon I got here. What they do, if you've had Skyline conies before, you know that they put a little bit of mustard on the hot dog before they line up with chili and cheese. So I'm going to take some yellow mustard. Actually, is this stuff good? Yeah. I'm just going to squirt some yellow mustard. Let's put a very, very thin layer, the thinnest of layers of yellow mustard on here to add a little flavor to this. Ew. That's some gross stuff there, but just... And then spoon, spread it out. Again, the thinnest of layers. It doesn't have to, we don't want it to be overpowering, obviously, since the yellow mustard is very, very strong. I've done this before with pre-made pizza crust multiple times, and I think this is a great touch. Alright. Alright, let's keep this going here. Spread it out everywhere. Right to the, and again, Dayton, Southwest Ohio, Ohio style, it's going to be right to the edge. Or as closest to the edge as I'm comfortable doing. Now, have I grossed out anybody in the comments? Yep, mustard is genius. That's Bob's comments. I think that's a good thing for Cincinnati-style. Alright, I think this much should be it. And given that we're working with a runnier kind of sauce, which is the Skyline chili, I'm going to have a little more of a crust on this than usual. Maybe I might get closer to the edge once I get the cheese ready. And I'm going to wait till the very last minute to shred that in just a second. Let's see, a little bit, actually. Spread this out. Shake the bottle. Yeah, you're right, Stephen. Again, the mustard juices are bad if they soak in, but keep in mind, this is uncooked yet. It's not properly cooked yet, so I like to think that that stuff will evaporate and deal with itself once it's in the oven and cooked up. So, fingers crossed, though. Teensy bit more around the crust area. Otherwise, you would be right, though. Mustard juices do screw up hot dog buns and burger buns under normal circumstances. But Those are applied after the buns are cooked. This is before the crust is cooked. So I'm hopeful that we will avoid such problems here. Here we go. I think we got a good layer here. Let's spread this out a little bit more. I think this is as good and close to the edge as we're going to, as I'm comfortable going. So let's see. I think that's good enough for me, so let's rinse out the spoon a little bit. Put it in the jar for a moment. Preliminary cleaning. Take the mustard back in the fridge. And so what is next? Put the flour off to the side. This thing can go away. Put a sip of beer in my belly. Now, let's take this slightly reduced Skyline chili here. Only slightly. Again, I'm a little nervous just because it is still on the runny side, so I'm pretty sure a lot of it's going to cook out. But then again, this is a bit of a wider pizza, so we might have some good stuff here. So let's dribble that there. Spread it out slightly. Not too much, but not too little. Here we go there. I got some of that there, so I am a little worried again. This is kind of, but I'm not going to use all the chili with if I don't need to. Yeah, oh, that's a little close. Almost too close for comfort, but we'll see about that. It's now starting to dawn on me that this could be a bit of a risky business here, so I think once I'm done with this sauce, which might be any minute now, I'm going to try and get the pizza peel under it and just try to shake it up a little bit just to make sure this doesn't stick too much to the cooking surface. I think that's as much as I'm comfortable doing. Let's get this peel underneath it. Oh, this is going to be a little wide. I did not think this part through. You know what? I gotta. Yeah, I did not think this through. You know what? I'm gonna just trim it. Trim it. I hate to do this, but I'd rather get this off in one piece than have a whole pizza failure, so a small sacrifice to be made. And if there's room on the circle or on the pizza stone, I'll just drop these bits on as well, so we'll see what happens. Let's just see, fax us a slice or two when this is done. Well, they haven't invented Fudo fax yet, so I'll get on that and try and patent that as soon as I can. But anyway, let's open this block of mild cheddar. just see, I don't know if I can get this block open. I like using block cheese just because the bagged cheese has a little caking agent which might affect the melting. It probably won't affect this pizza at all, but I'm going to be a snob. If I can get, open, here we go. Flour on the stone. This is the flour on the stone. Well, I should probably sprinkle some cornmeal on the stone just to do that. So, or maybe some salt like your buddy at Marion's did, or maybe both. Anyway, there we go. Block of cheese. Break it apart in sort of half. Into the food processor. First half. Second half. All right. Not perfect, but it'll do. I like it. Shredding disc. Shake it up into the sink. And now let's get some shredded cheesy stuff on this three-way pizza. In potential, which again I'm worried that because of the weight of the stuff on the thin crust it might get ruined. Although now in hindsight I'm wondering if maybe I should have pre-cooked this crust for maybe a couple minutes just to dry it up on the underside. I should try that next time. Alright. A few more bits here. I'm almost out of the cheese, so you know what? I'm going to call that done. A little bit on that sliver. A little bit on this sliver. Bit more. Last bit of the cheese. Actually, there's some crumbly bits that didn't go through the shredder, so decorate that here. And I'm kind of stalling because I'm scared to put this in the oven now. But I think this is as good as it's going to get. Let me check the burner, and I think it's fine. So put that there out of sight. Let me see. I'm going to waffle a little bit more, and oh wait, got another idea. Just take out some insurance. Where's the corn? Where should I put the cornmeal? Put the cornmeal right, in front of the camera. Lift up this I'm not really too worried much about folding stuff over the edge, just because this pizza doesn't need to be super fancy pants or neat. Let's do this. I think that's as good as it's going to get. So let's take a look at the chat here. What all do you use the shredder for? The shredder saves time. The shredder takes up space in the small kitchen. Well, I've got a storage thing off camera here, just like this, one of those 5-tier storage racks that you get on Amazon. I put a lot of stuff there, because this is a small kitchen, and it's something that I'm not totally happy with. But when you get into cooking and you got more stuff than you have space for, it's kind of what happens. So yeah. But yeah, I know I've got a small kitchen. I ain't happy with that, but I make do with it. Just like I'm gonna make do with a sip of beer. Yank that out. Anyway, let me raise the camera back to normal height. I love doing that in a sarcastic way, if that's not obvious. But anyway, let's get that there. I think that ought to do. Ah! And so now, here comes the moment of drama. Getting that on the pizza stone in there. I think I've taken out enough evidence. Insurance. Aha! It's shaking. Well, let me a little more under here. Oh yeah, don't forget to hit the close up button. Yep. Thank you very much, Bob. What all do I use the shredder for? The shredding disc? Not a whole lot except for shredding cheese. Sometimes I shred carrots with it or some other stuff. I mainly use the food processor bit, just this thing. Sometimes I use it if I'm trying to make, I use it most often for, what am I thinking? Not pizza dough, but pasta dough and other things like if I'm making hummus or such, or I've also used it to make, to blend up tomatoes for a pasta sauce. I use it for a handful of things every now and then. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Because doing stuff manually, it's a pain in the you-know-what. So anyway, I have waffled on long enough, so let's just get it over with. Let's get that onto the pizza stone. Ah, hot. 500-degree oven. Take out some insurance, put some cornmeal on the stone. That may or may not have been a good idea. It's burning, but you know, that's okay. Alright, here we go. Wish me luck. Here we go. There we go. Some of it's falling off, some of it's falling off. Let's see, quick. Paring knife. Could have gone better, but it could have gone worse. Paring knife, get this. I need a bigger stone, or next time I should make less dough. That should be it. But anyway, towel, that'll shove that in there. Screw this cheese that's on there. All right, there we go. Whew. 8 minutes. Okay, so that could have gone better, but it could have gone worse. I think the paring knife trick of just cutting off some of the dough was the right move to make. Although in hindsight, I think when I make stuff like that in the future, I gotta cut down on the dough, or maybe the recipe said it was for one crust, but I'm not so sure. Or maybe the stone's too small. I don't know. Let's see. All right. Well, I've got an idea for what to do with this leftover dough. I'm gonna do something gross with it and eat uncooked pasta dough. Just have a little bit of snack. Pre-pizza snack. Actually, first let's do a little, maybe not really cleaning up, but just getting ready for the final product. Yeah, this. Put that together, back together. I'll clean it once I'm done with the video. This goes into garbage there. What else? This beer needs to go in my belly. I'm gonna hang on to this for later. peel for later. Oh, Bob, you are a genius. The scraps could go in the air fryer. You know what? Heck with it. I got the air fryer out right here. I'm gonna go with it. Let's go for it. Why not? I got time. Let's see what happens. Okay. Actually, that's too long, too narrow. Chop that in half. I've got the grill attachment here. Bob, you are a genius. I'll chop this in half. That's what I should do next time. That's actually something I'm thinking now. Something I should do next time I make a pizza here for this dough. Maybe like a 80% of the dough could go for that pizza. Maybe 20% or such could go for an air fryer version. We get a way to use extra scraps and not waste the entire recipe. Of course, I'm definitely considering pre-cooking the crust a little bit in advance just to make it slide off the peel a little easier. Or even better, take that extra bit of dough and make a calzone out of it. That's what I should do. But anyway, while I'm waiting, I got scraps on the grilling attachment in the air fryer. Shove it in there. I think maybe 10 minutes. Full blast. And hope that the cheese doesn't fly off. But I think it's been sticking enough to the sauce, so that'll work. In the meantime, I've got some leftover Cincinnati chili, and it won't get rid of itself. Oh yeah. Good stuff. Wait. For the rest of it, let's see how the pizza's doing. I don't see or hear any sizzling. Oh. Smoke. That ain't good. No, it's not too much. That'll work. Steven, do you play any instruments, fellas? Not really. The only instruments I play with are stuff in my kitchen and on my Nintendo Switch. That's pretty much it. I am completely musically uninclined. Oh, also I use beer making instruments, so that sort of counts, I guess, but music, not me. Let's see. Take the Curtis Perry knife here. But I think that's. But I like the idea. Now I'm thinking about it. 3/4 to 4/5 of the dough could go for a pizza. The rest goes to a small little calzone I could cook up in here. I ought to do that in the future. But what kind of pizza will be good for that next time? Leave a comment down below. 2 minutes 20 seconds to go for the pizza and for the scraps. It says about 8 minutes. So I think that'll give us plenty of time to get that out of there onto the cutting board. Get this out of the way onto something. That'll do. Get some leftover cheese, because I'm a slob. Be even more slob with some raspberry porter. Cheese is a palate cleanser. So let's see. Not much here in the chat. It says I got 4 folks here, though maybe that's just the maximum. But again, I want to thank everybody here for tuning in, taking some time out of your Friday evening to watch an idiot pretend that he knows what he's doing in the kitchen, nearly screwing up what should have been a great idea in a 3-way pizza. So let's see, we got 1 minute to go. One more check here. Oh, that was a waft of steam, but and I do see one of those annoying little bubble things coming out from the dough, which something I forgot to do is just poke little forky things, just to make sure that the crust doesn't bubble. But that's my fault. I screwed up. But it's no big deal. So anyway, 36 seconds. That's for the pizza. 7 minutes for the scraps, but then again, that only goes by minutes, no seconds. Oh boy, we are almost there. 16, 15 seconds, but that's for an 8 minutes, so I'll take a look afterwards. But I think I don't want to cook it too much because cheddar cooks a little bit quicker than other stuff, and it's not really fun when it's burnt. But oh, here we go. Let's turn it off. Let's see. No. Let's. Aha. That don't look too bad. Alright. Actually, I think that's. Oh, smoke. Thank goodness I don't have my smoke alarm in the kitchen, because I'm always. I think that smoke is coming from the. Stop that. The cornmeal that I put on the stone, which hindsight was a bad idea, but oh well. That thing made a noise like a musical gong. You mean this? That's no good. How would that work? Whew. Nah, I don't. Alright, so let's switch camera angles here so you can see what this thing looks like. Oh, I think I know what the problem was. I forgot to set the, oh, I know what happened. When I switched to the top camera angle, I did not include the mic audio from the main camera. It was only the top audio here, so. Actually, let's go to split screen mode. That'll help out immensely. Ah, there we go. Now you can see here. I don't really like the bubbles that came up here, and some of the cheese is kind of burnt a teensy bit, but other than that, I think it's okay. I was saying before that the pizza is not completely round, but you know what? I think that's okay because, you know, I mean, I won't say it's homemade because you don't really expect perfection when you make stuff at home, and it makes it more real. You understand what I'm saying? So let's see now. Okay, so anyway, the scraps have 3 meals. Let's see what that scraps look right now. And I'm just gonna, I think those are done, so, excuse me. Let the scraps cool a little bit. Well, at the same time, if I can find my, pizza cutter, finish off some raspberry porter, which is delish. And I'm gonna cut this Ohio style, or Dayton style, or whatever, Midwest style. Cut it into squares. This is kind of square-ish, so I'm assuming there's no problem with cutting in the squares, and I've become kind of fond of it. That'll do, I think. Cut that. All right. I see a little bit of grease coming from the sides here. I'm assuming it's coming from the chili. Last cut, I think. All right. That looks like a properly cut 3-way pizza, cut Midwest style. I'm going to get my cell phone camera real quick to get a picture of that for the thumbnail, which I conveniently left on the washing machine back there. So here we go. Clear it up, make sure it's all pristine and picture perfect, or as picture perfect as this is going to get, which I think it is. So use, oh, this thing has a food mode in it? Oh no, I don't like it. It puts the center thing in focus and everything else around it is kind of blurry, which I don't want in a thumbnail. So, get the right angle, click, another shot, get above, click, click. Oh boy. Cut it into 88 counties. Indiana has more counties. Bob, you cut it into 88 counties. I'll cut it like this. And speaking of cutting stuff, let me show you what the air fryer stuff looked like. I think some of the cheese may have slipped through, and it may have overcooked it a little bit, but I pulled it out a little early. I mean, and the cheese is definitely dried up a bit, so I wouldn't call this a failure, but then again, these are scraps, so not too big of a deal. But anyway, let's put that away. Let's switch back to the main camera mode. Main only. There we go. And now, first things first, let's try the side project. No, actually, sip a beer. Actually, I'm going to finish this off. I love that beer. That's good stuff. Like I said before in videos, the raspberry flavor is in your face, but it's also not super, super sweet. It's just sweet enough. It doesn't taste like candy. But again, there's no mistaking the raspberry flavor. And when I remember smelling, I think there's some hints of chocolate and such in there, and a little bit in the flavor as well. But again, at 9.1%, you can enjoy this way too much and regret it the next day. But anyway, now let's start with the food. First off, some of these scraps, which Bob suggested I air fry, which, well, seemed like a good idea at the time, but, nothing ventured, nothing gained. Let's try it. Just maybe not that piece, but, dip it into the leftover chili. It'll taste more like crunchy bread than pizza or anything else. There's probably a place for it. Ooh. Maybe like dipping sticks, breadsticks, like those. I can't even remember what they are, but anyway. Something like bruschetta. It has potential, room for improvement. But I would say not bad for a last minute off the cuff decision. I mean, again, room for improvement, but we'll get there when we get there. But for now, let's get to the main event here. That right there, the 3-way pizza. And then let's see, just a thought on the air fryer. But thinking stuff like that helps. It leads to great innovations. Some ideas work, some of them don't. Some of them need improvement. I think you might be onto something. But anyway, back to the pizza. Let's see, let's find a good piece here. This one ought to do. Bit on the edge. Nice bit of squareness here. Smells good. Let's eat it. Square of Cincinnati 3-way pizza. Cheers. The mustard definitely helps. Honestly, all the ingredients put together are good, but honestly, I think the mustard ties it all together. The mustard sort of gives it the feel like I'm biting into a Skyline, like a coney. And that little line of mustard they put on the cheese conies, it kind of ties everything together. And I think the mustard ties all the ingredients here on this pizza well perfectly. The chili is awesome, the cheese is awesome, the crust is awesome, and the mustard just gives it an extra boom, extra oomph, takes it to a whole nother level. Although, the salt on the bottom of the working surface here, I can taste it on the bottom of the crust. That definitely helps a lot too. And of course the Skyline as the sauce, the Skyline chili as the sauce is magnificent. Oh, I should have made that symbol. People don't like that. No, good. Anyway, this slob. Bob. Hot dog slices as a topping, I love it. I don't know how many things. Should I do that next month? Now, maybe we should try something different next month, but that I think is a serious consideration, Bob, the hot dog slices as a topping. Wondering how to pull it off though, but again, one thing I've definitely learned with making heavy pizzas with a thin crust like this is definitely got to cook the crust on the stone, maybe for like a couple seconds, for maybe like 2 minutes, just to firm it up a little bit, make it easier to work with. But I will definitely do that next time. But anyway, the rest of this stuff is just absolutely spot on, fantastic. The cheddar cheese is perfect. It's the perfect complement for all of these ingredients. The Skyline chili is, well, it's Skyline chili, so if you've never had it before, you're missing out. Crust is perfect. Mustard, like I said before, kicks it up a notch. You can't go wrong making a pizza like this. Yep. Wow. That is something. That is going to be a good dinner for the rest of tonight. I told myself I was going to have some leftovers and save it for lunch tomorrow, but I'm not so sure that's going to happen now. I'm feeling like being a slob, so I might eat the stuff, but now again, Bob, your idea of the hot dog slices, I still can't help but think that that's just pure genius. But that's a good note to end on, but let's end it on a better one. I got something else at Dorothy Lane Market while I was going shopping. And as I like to do as a tradition, I like to chug something before the end of every show. Of every live show at least. So of course I got my favorite, Ace Pineapple Cider. Which is, again, this is gluten-free, vegan, no sugar added. I'm trying to remember where was it made. It's in California somewhere. California, where in California? Where in California? It says Ace, California, bottled by California Cider Company Incorporated, Sonoma County, Sebastopol, California. Let's just see. Steven says, I found most hot dogs don't make for interesting toppings. Sausage slices make more sense to me. Although, you might... Although I'm wondering, my question to you, Stephen, would be when the hot dogs are added as toppings. Are they added before the cook, during the cook, after the cook? I feel like that might make a world of difference when it comes to its flavor and its texture and how it works its way into the pizza. So that might actually, you know what? If I make this pizza again live, that might actually be a good experiment to try. Like, say, take this pizza, cut it into, like, or maybe sort of divide it into thirds, put some hot dogs on at the beginning, some hot dogs at the middle, some at the very end. I think that would be an important thing, but also at the same time, I remember a while ago that Skyline and Skyline experimented by making some conies with andouille sausage. I happen to have some andouille sausage, but I was going to use it for something else. But that might be a good sausage to try on a pizza as well, because it's got some really, really cool flavors in it as well. So anyway, I mean, Bob is kind of right. It's not a coney with sausage, but again, like I said, andouille was used by Skyline in an experiment at one point, so it would be worth a shot. But maybe add that would be... But again, nothing ventured, nothing gained, so... Let's see, Steve says, I've only done before cooking, that might make a difference, so... It's worth experimenting with, so... now that I'm thinking about it, maybe next month I should do that. And get some hot dogs, and again, we'll do some experiments. One without any hot dogs, one with... put hot dogs on before, one 5 minutes in, and then one after the cook, just while it's cooling off. That would be a really good experiment to see what would happen. And we might learn something. But anyway, right now, I don't feel like learning, I feel like drinking. So let me alright, improvised bottle opener. There we go. Drawer handle always works as a perfect improv bottle opener. So let's rinse out this glass a little bit. I also say before, during, and after, because in previous times when I've made three-way pizzas, there are times where I put cheese on at varying times during the cook. I would put the crappy pre-made pizza crust on a rotating pizza oven, which I have lying back somewhere. I would cook the whoa. Billy is here. How you doing, Billy? It's nice. You just missed it. Some great three-way Ohio Cincinnati, sort of a hybrid Cincinnati Sunday combo pizza here, which is again a small thin crust pizza here. Cincinnati-style chili, which is kind of a thinner, kind of chili. That, I mean, I can't really explain what it is without describing it. It's not insanely savory, but it's kind of our own thing. Cheddar cheese, and I got a thin layer of mustard underneath it, which pulls it all together, which makes it just brilliant. In fact, I think I'll have another piece right now. I got the goodness even before the first bite. Let's see what we got here. So anyway, time to finish this video off with my traditional post-vid chug. And again, Ace Pineapple Cider is today's candidate. It is always my candidate. But as I was saying, when I would make this pizza before with cheap ingredients, I would cook the crust and the Skyline chili first for maybe like 5 or 6 minutes just to reduce the chili a little bit, since it is kind of watery. Then put some cheese on at the end, maybe cook it for another maybe 6 or so minutes. Sometimes I would not even cook the cheese, because again, when you have it, when you have a three-way, you don't melt the cheese on top of the spaghetti. You don't melt the cheese on top of the cheese coney. You just have it as is. So maybe all of it. Oh my goodness. There's so many ways we could go with this. So many ways. But that's another video, another discussion for another day. Right now, let's end this video with a chug. Cheers to all of you. Thank you for tuning into the video. Like, share, and subscribe. You know all the business. So, post-vid chug. Cheers. Sensitive teeth. Ooh, yeah, ooh, ah, eh. Things I do for you guys. Let's relieve the pain with some goodness. Cincinnati chili is the king. Chisel grits with baked salmon. Ooh! Love that. It's nice. All right. Well, that'll do it for another live stream here on Bryno. Thank you all very much for watching. If you like what you saw here, and I'm hoping that you did, please like the video. I mean, and you've already been talking to me. I always say leave a comment below, but you already have. Leave a comment on the vid or whatever. And again, like the video, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to be notified of future notifications. You know the drill. Once again, ooh, there we go. Once again, thanks for watching. Have yourself a good one. Time to wrap things up here and clean this crap. So anyway, again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.